We are hopefully a little over a month, maybe a little bit more than that, away from the opening of the Harborview Aquarium in Syracuse. As work speeds along, we wanted to get an update on the marine life that will eventually call this facility home. Joining us now is Chris Davis. He's the managing partner at ZoOceanarium. Chris, good to see you. Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Good to see you, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
And just so if people don't know, you guys will essentially be running the aquarium there, so that's why we want to talk to you about the marine life. Bring us up to speed. How are the actual exhibits and habitats coming together? We've seen construction moving right along there, so how are those coming together?
The whole aquarium's coming together really, really nicely. Construction teams are getting into those finer details, finishing habitat theming, connecting literally miles and miles of pipes, plumbing, fine-tuning the water treatment equipment, and getting all those behind-the-scenes systems that are super vital for, keeping those animals nice and healthy, getting those online.
Yeah, we've talked before about the many different animals that will be living in the aquarium. How are you doing as far as how many you've selected? You're halfway through there? You're 3/4 of the way? Like, how much are we still left to do?
We're about 90% of the animals that are eventually going to call Syracuse home. We've got them secured and currently planning logistics for exactly how we get them over to Syracuse.
Yeah, I was going to say, so clearly they're not here yet. So once you pick them, what happens? Do they stay where they are? How do we handle that?
Good question. Each animal's a little bit different depending on where it is. For example, the otters, we just had a team member there last week who was checking their care, making sure the animal's temperament is great and that they're would make a nice fit for Harborview. The report came back that they're super healthy, super chirpy, and cute as buttons. So they'll be staying there until the facility's ready.
Yeah, I think it's kind of obvious. People love the sharks, right? They're going to be a main feature of this. How you doing on picking the sharks? And do they stay where they are right now, where you selected them from?
Yeah, we're really fortunate. We've secured and received a lot of the sharks that are going to ultimately be over in Syracuse. It includes brown sharks from a facility over in Florida, nurse sharks from another facility in Florida. They're being held between St. Louis Aquarium, St. Louis Aquarium, Dallas Aquarium. We've also got some partner institutions around the country that are holding animals for us.
When would you expect to start putting some of the marine life in their exhibits in Syracuse? Because I'm sure it's not like the day before you open the doors to the aquarium and the public comes in. So kind of what's that process like of when the exhibits are ready for them, getting them in there, acclimated to the new surroundings and things like that?
Our largest quarantine tank is already in place. The filtration is arriving probably as we're talking right now. As soon as that area is ready and dust-free, we'll start bringing in animals and getting them staged in that area before we move them over to their final habitat. So we're talking in the next week to 2 weeks, we'll start seeing some of the first residents show up.
Oh, that's got to be really exciting for all of you, isn't it?
It definitely is.
I'm always curious, so what is the transport like for, there's so many different, you talked about the otters, we have the shark, we know all the different fish that are going to come in there. I mean, what is that like to get them from point A to point B here in the harbor, Inner Harbor?
Right. When you say that, I always think planes, trains, and automobiles. Right?
Yeah.
Specifically, a lot of the animals are going to be coming in. We've got a company transport truck. We call it the Gillmobile. It's essentially a mobile fish habitat that temperature control, oxygen filtration. It's a mobile exhibit, really. We'll be moving a lot of the animals in that way. We've also got some animals coming in through JFK. We'll be sending teams over to pick them up and bring them directly over to Syracuse.
That is going to be a fascinating thing to watch. What would you say are one or two of the bigger things you still have left to do on your end? And I don't know if it's securing marine life and things like that or other things with the exhibit itself.
Yeah, that's, we're really in the fun part of this. Yeah. My job specifically is just to make sure that our team has the people and the equipment, the animals and resources that they need. We've got a mountain of work ahead of us, and we've got a great team on board that grows exponentially every day, every week.
Exciting. Last one for you. I mean, kind of exciting. You get that kind of like juice that, yeah, we're getting really close to opening this thing.
it's going to be a lot of sleepless nights ahead for, I think, myself and most of the team. But the thing is that building starts coming together, it gets easier and easier really to visualize just how exciting this aquarium is going to be. And the team currently is working their tails off to really create a unique experience that's very different from anywhere else in the region. And, you know, it's all gas and no brakes right now, Jeff.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us. Really appreciate it. Always great catching up with you.
Thank you, Jeff. Good to see you.
Download the WSYR Plus app on your TV to stream News Channel 9 for free. Just go to your smart TV, search WSYR Plus in the App Store, and download to start streaming today.